Hey. I spent thousands of dollars on takeout food, more than your average person. I want to share with you how much money I spent, why I spent it, and how you can learn from my mistake from spending an unnecessary amount of money. Before I share the total amount of how much I've spent to date, I have been ordering takeout since high school. Often I would go to McDonald's or Burger King to go get takeout with my friends. We would either go by walking or a bike or with someone's car, just to fill our cravings with that all-natural beef. I knew deep down this wasn't good for my health, but it didn't matter. I allowed myself to give in to the instant gratification of that burger. This habit carried over to my present life now, where I'm in my own apartment now, where I moved out of my parents' place, and now I'm here spending way less money on the takeout now. I knew since I moved out of my parents' place that I had to start saving more money now, because then that lifestyle I used to continue with is not sustainable anymore. It wasn't sustainable to begin with, but I continued to do so. I knew I had to start saving more money, meaning less takeout, but this was a difficult habit to break. Years and years of building this habit of ordering takeout all the time, because there wasn't any food at home or I was too lazy. I would go on a delivery website. I'd order from a local restaurant from either Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. The average cost would be $30 to $45. Number 1, buy groceries. This sounds like an obvious tip, but hear me out here. One of my triggers to order takeout was not having food at home, essentially, or having any groceries. No food in the house equals laziness. And so my excuse to find a shortcut was to order food. You should build a routine to buy groceries on a certain day at a certain time every week. And you have to keep that momentum going, because over time, as you keep doing it, it doesn't become a chore, it just simply becomes your routine, and it is something that you don't really think about, you just know that you do need to do this certain task. It will be a routine burnt in your brain, your little noggin, and just continue to follow it. Tip number 2, delete your delivery apps. This advice works for any app, really. If you have a problem where you must go on Instagram 3 hours a day, you can simply install the app for a couple days and go from there. The temptations will come back, but now it will be more difficult for you to jump back to that temptation. Building obstacles to prevent you from doing something you don't want to do will guarantee victory to your goal. Now, of course, if you need a delivery app because you need someone to deliver your groceries, or you're physically unable to go get your groceries or something, obviously keep it. I'm not gonna stop you from getting your groceries, but for most of the people here, you're most likely not gonna need that delivery app. I have a friend who refuses to eat like 98% of the meals outside of her own house. She will not order takeout, and she hates quote unquote outside food. Her reasoning is, you don't really know what they're putting in your food. I would argue it's for the experience, to experience different foods from different cultures, but at the same time, maybe that's just me trying to justify my takeout habits. Tip number 3, have an accountability partner. Having an accountability partner is nice because when you're about to do something, you can text them and say, hey, I'm about to do this. Can you convince me to stop doing this? And it's great because I used to have an accountability partner, and they would tell me, hey, you're about to spend this amount of money for a meal, just for what? Just for lunch? Just for dinner? And for what? I wouldn't say to fully rely on your accountability partner as well, because you need to be accountable for yourself as well. Having an accountability partner is great, but if you yourself are not accountable for your own actions, then it's not really gonna matter if you have an accountability partner, because if you're not gonna listen to what they're gonna say, how do you expect to listen to yourself? Call yourself out too. If you're about to do something that you shouldn't be doing, like ordering takeout, You should just, if you're on your phone, just drop it. Well, don't literally like drop it on the floor, but like put it away, walk out of that room, whatever room you're in, area, and just clear your mind away from it. Just clear it out. It's not in my head. It's not in my head. I used to struggle so much when it came to stopping myself with ordering takeout. I would spend hours on like a delivery website, browsing from restaurant to restaurant, comparing like meals and prices and the reviews, and it was not good. It was actually a complete waste of time. I would spend an average 1 hour just to figure out what to eat. And then I would have to wait another 30 to 45 minutes just for my meal to get cooked and to be delivered. And there's also tip and like the delivery fee. So like time is a precious asset. And unfortunately, there are many people who don't respect their own time or respect other people's time. I would say to you that time is your most precious asset. And you want to do your best to respect your own time and others around you. I mean, hey, sometimes it gets hard, but you just get back up, you know? Okay, the big question. How much did I spend? From January 2022 to December 2022, at least at the date of this video releasing, it was a hard slap to the face. It was quite shocking, to be honest, and I called my brother right away just to let him know. Like, hey, I had him guess how much I spent first, and he was pretty close on the second guess. Holy fudge. Before I share the amount, I want you to guess in your head, how much did I spend? I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got it? Okay, the grand total I spent on ordering takeout is $9,187. $9,187. You can just pretty much sum it up to $1,000 at this point, but I mean, it sounds better if you say $1,000, but also not good. That's a lot of money. I don't even want to imagine how much I spent in the previous years. As of now, I've reduced my spending by 90%. I did the math. Currently, as of December this month, I've only spent $44 in takeout, and that's including like coffee, like some bakery here and there. I hope you can apply some of these tips in your own life and with your own habits, maybe just spending habits in general or something. If you enjoyed this content, stick around and subscribe for more. Comment below the most expensive delivery order that you've spent money on. I'll be making content about self-improvement, but we'll be covering a wide range of topics like lifestyle, how-tos, your fashion sense or general fashion sense, masculinity, and more. Get good, get better. Let's get her. We did it.